All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to all the people watching in the live stream, to the people watching in the replay. My name is Anton Diaz, founder of Our Awesome Planet. And we're
Yay!
talking to Jill for the first time.
Hello, everyone.
And she's an author of Sad and Funny. And it's a very interesting book. So we'll talk to Jill about the book itself and the writing process. As you all know, I'm trying to write a book also. So I wanted to get inspired by other first time writers, actually, first time authors. And so, welcome, Jill.
Thank you.
All
Thank you.
right. Thank you. And we're here talking to thank you for All right,
Yeah.
Jill, maybe for the people watching
Mm,
the replay or the live stream, can you introduce
okay.
yourself and what the book is all about?
Yes, I'm Jill, Barcelona-Suzuki. I now live in Japan. I'm originally from Butuan City. And yes, of course, Butuan City, it's in Mindanao. And I've been living here for almost 17 years now. And yes, of course, yeah, we might live longer. Well, it
Wow.
depends on the time. It depends on the pandemic. We don't really know what's gonna happen next.
So how's the pandemic there in Japan? Where are you, in Tokyo or in the suburbs?
I work in Tokyo, but we now live in Chiba. Well,
Cheap
Chiba is, yes,
lecture.
Chiba Prefecture. Yeah, that's right. So actually, I would say that we're still lucky here because Filipinos, people in the Philippines, especially in Manila, we have cousins there, we have relatives there, and they're really struggling. They really would. Oh, of course, Anton, you know that one.
Oo.
Yeah,
Yeah, we have some friends in Butuan. I didn't know you're from
yeah.
Butuan.
But yeah, Butuan,
Butuan,
Butuan City.
Butuan,
Yeah, that's
Butuan
right.
City, City of
Yes.
Gold. So maybe let's talk about the book first.
Yes, sure.
And the title. So for those people, maybe you can walk us through what the book is all about. Yeah.
Yeah, well, actually, this book is a very simple title, SF, because normally people think like, well, science fiction or San Francisco. Actually, it's not San Francisco in the U.S. San Francisco Street in Butuan City. Para medyo ano siya, medyo intriguing siya. So actually, it's SF because I I asked my FB friends which ones do they really think would best fit this one, or it's just like a guessing game at first. So they tried to choose SF like San Francisco, science fiction, but actually it's just sad and fun experiences of Japanese people. Because as I said earlier, we've lived here for more than 17 years now, and I think it really is my time to share to you my different experiences as well as the experiences of other Japanese people who were my students.
So is this? So what are you teaching in Japan, by the way?
Actually, I'm teaching daily conversation and business language in
English.
Tokyo.
English.
English, yes, English.
Okay. And so is the book about your observation over the last 17 years, or is it like how can Filipinos understand Japanese more? What's the angle of the book?
Actually, it's a combination of both because, of course, it's really hard for me to get those stories from these Japanese people, and
Yeah.
it's really hard for them to open up. That's really sure. That's the reality, and it's really hard for them to open up, especially when it comes to their privacy. That's gonna be really hard for them. So, well, hinay-hinay lang, little by little, I was able to ask them. Of course, they also were willing to share. It was not forced, okay? I didn't force
Okay.
them to do that. Yes, and later on, they just felt so comfortable sharing to you their different experiences, and because of that, I was able to ask. I was also able to ask them questions that might be difficult for many people to really ask Japanese people, and they were
Okay.
willing to share.
Okay. Let's walk through the book, no?
Okay.
You had this logo. Maybe can you share us why this logo?
The logo, that's very simple actually. And yes, Racer project that is Razer project tried to help me. That one actually it's my original design. It means that's my initials, Jill Barcelona-Suzuki, and I was very inspired by this Japanese stamp, right? Because they normally they don't just it's really different compared to us. Like you just try to um, sign. For example, if you go to the bank or whatever that is, but in Japan they have their own stamp. Okay,
Oo
and
nga
that's
eh, no?
yeah. There's a
I see that one eh.
have you seen that one?
Yeah,
Yes,
why is that? Is that like an official symbol or just wala lang? Like an
they have
emblem?
actually they have ones that are official, but and those are very expensive. You can
Mm.
even imagine that sometimes there are more than it costs more than 20,000 pesos for
Wow,
just
talaga.
one stamp, right? Or maybe more, right? It depends on the what's this material they're using. Now we
Oo.
also have this one. We can even buy it in Daiso. I'm not promoting, but yes, you can even buy it there. It's just 50 pesos. So can you see the difference between that?
Oo.
Actually, it's
Um,
here, Anton. Yes,
galing ah.
yes. You can
Ah,
roll it, whatever. Yes.
all right. So let's say hi lang to those people in the live stream. Hello to Maria GSM.
Yes, hi, Ate Grace. She really thought she's late. We were late. I was late. Sorry. It's my fault. Filipino
Hello
time.
to
Sorry.
Arbel. Arbel.
Arben
Uh,
Lau, she's my very good friend and she's my neighbor in Gingona.
and of
Yes,
course
hi.
to Coach. We'll say hi to Coach. Coach Carla. All
Wow,
right.
may pabaw pa. Yes, hi, Kath. It's so nice to, yeah, actually, she's
Coach
really
Carla.
very busy today. Thank you
Oh.
so much for your time. I truly appreciate it.
Okay. Maybe uh, talk us more about the book. So okay,
Yes.
you mentioned this. And then so can you tell me more about it? Why do we judge people this way, that way? Why do you
Okay.
always speak of stereotypes? Yeah.
Yeah, because I really feel so sad listening to those stereotypes. Of course, if it's really positive, then it's gonna be okay. But even if it's positive, sometimes people think that yeah, Japanese people are rich, they have everything, and well, of course, I believe it was really true. Maybe let's say 20 years ago, but after that, I would say that it's really changing. It's really changing that I even see people here like they were really trying to just buy the things, the necessary things, especially before the pandemic. How much
Mhm.
more now in this time of pandemic?
Oh. Paano nga
Yeah.
yan? Can you maybe describe what happened during the pandemic in Japan? Because you've been there.
Yes.
And di ba parang the story was they were able to handle it well because of that
Mm,
privacy. So they're more private, they're more
yes.
sensitive about cleaning. Did it really
That's
help
right.
or what's the real situation?
You know what? That's one of the many reasons that I would say I would personally say that it really helps a lot because like for example if you go somewhere they you just want to you just only see those clean like toilet. You can even smell that kind of stinky smell, but yes, yeah, that's true, even in public places, but in the park maybe that's another story. But most of the time you will, yeah, you would say it's really clean. And also like for example they even have what's this, they have their own soap, they have their paper soap, some of them carry
Talaga?
that gel. I even have one with me because it's just like
Oo.
it's very cute, right?
Okay.
Very cute,
No,
that's why I
may question ako, Jill.
anyways.
May
Yes,
question ako,
please.
Jill. So, when we were in Japan, syempre, when you go to the train, di ba? And then
Yes.
you have kids. Ang ingay-ingay ng kids. But in Japan, all the sa train, ang tahimik, di ba? And people are minding themselves. I don't know what do they think about the Filipino kids or the parents. Can you share
Yeah.
us more about this? Bakit sila tahimik or how do they look at other people na tahimik? I guess we're tourists, so baka they don't mind us. But can
Yeah.
you share more about that culture? Yeah.
Actually, I've asked so many of my students that like I even asked them. So actually, these are all their answers, and based on what I noticed, like they're so tired. They work so hard every day. They work from very early in the morning. They even have English lessons before. The first lesson we have is at 7 o'clock. So after that, they go to work. Of course, they have lunch. Sometimes if they have time, they come to our work to our place to study English. That's at lunchtime. So after that, they go back to work. Work longer, maybe 8 o'clock, 9. I don't know. Some work really after midnight, and that's really really very hard. Now, for those people who work the until let's say 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, we have our actually we had our last lesson before that was 10 o'clock in the evening, and then they go home very late. So which means they wake up quite late as well, but they have to go back to their work. So when they go back to the work, that's the only time they can sleep well, especially if they have this long commute, right? Let's say 1 hour or more. That's the
Uh,
only time they can sleep, and we have to respect that, right? Um, iba kasi, well, it's really hard for us because we're also very excited, especially if
oh,
you're tourists. I can understand that because I was one of them. I was really one of them. Mm.
okay.
So
Ah,
respect lang.
okay, wait. So you said in this book, enough said being sad. Is the book a mix of sad and funny stories, or 50-50 ba yan? Or how did you design the book?
Okay, so it really depends on the readers if it's 50-50 or not, but I was really trying my best to at least figure out that it's gonna be 50-50. That's why I have sad explanations here, I have fun explanations here, but it's up to them if it's really sad or funny to them. But that's how I would like them to understand.
Okay, so all of these are your interaction with students. How many students overall?
Yes, actually, I've been working in this place, in this company for more than 14 years now. So
Wow.
when we only talk about number of lessons, I would say I have more than 10,000 lessons. Oh, lessons lang yan ha. Lessons lang.
Oo.
But if it's
Kaya dami pa
students,
rin. A lot.
dami pa rin eh. Yes, because I would feel that I was really Japanese at that time because there was a time that I really worked from 7 o'clock in the morning until 10:45 in the evening, and I only had 3 to 4. Yeah, I was lucky when I had 4 hours sleep. Yes, that's before I got pregnant.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you share us the story of this excerpt from the book?
Mm,
The story behind this and what
mm.
is it?
Actually, this is part of 10 don'ts men meant. It sounds like 10 commandments, but
Mm-mm.
it just rhymes. But because these are the don'ts we try to ignore. So let's say, don't be defensive. Why? Because uh, I really can tell, even me, I'm very defensive at all times. I hope they're not listening here. My daughter and my husband. they they might think
Okay,
you're.
Kay is here.
Yeah.
Kay is
Kay's
watching.
here. Okay, he's
Yeah.
here. Hi. And they're over there. Anyways, yeah, ganun tayo. Yeah, Anton. Yeah,
Yes.
our children are our first supporters. So,
Sige,
anyways,
go.
they might think you are always right and they are always wrong, because we sometimes believe, or even this is also good for parents to children, bosses to staff, or leaders to followers, because uh, we always believe we're right, but actually we learn so many things from them, really so many things from them.
Mm,
And yes, I'm saying this like, accept your fault, and they will do the same thing outside when they are at fault. Because if
yeah,
you are too, yes, please.
any example of
Mm.
what that we think we're right, but pero they're that we're defensive about it, and
Okay.
that we can learn
Uh,
from.
well, based on my experience as a daughter, yes, of course, sometimes our parents would say, yeah, you have to listen to us. This is what you need to do. I truly appreciate that, because parents do tell us they only want the best for us. And I truly believe in that. But we sometimes forget that kids have their own thinking. They know what is also good for them. They know that they won't get harmed. sometimes even if they're little, right? Because we sometimes have this stereotype as well that, for example, if they are teenagers, then maybe that's the time we can understand them or just let them do the thing they want. But I also notice, Anton, that even if they're still baby, or maybe from the very time they start talking, you would understand that wow, they have this idea. Okay, so I'll just give you an example. Well, it for parents and children, like I think it happened on August 11. That was the day before my mom's birthday. So my daughter told me that I think we had a misunderstanding at that time. So there was time on that day she told me that, Mom, I think, you know what, Mom? I think people should not get angry. I said, why? Pe- pe- People definitely will get angry no matter what, right? So she said, there's only uh, one August 11, 2020. Okay, I said, yes, you're right. I said, even if it's 1 second, even if it's, of course, 1 minute, or even if it's 1 second, I think it's better not to really get angry. Because there's only one. Why not make the most of it? She said, yeah, of course, in English. Why not make the most of it? I said, yeah, I think I was too sensitive at that time. I was about to cry because I've never thought of that. And she told me, and then, yeah, because sometimes mothers or parents, you're sometimes defensive. And I said, but why do you get angry? No, or why did you get angry? Why do you sometimes get angry? And then she just smiled. And then I also reflected it on my, I tried to reflect it on myself because if I were to ask my mom at that time, maybe she would also understand how I felt, right? So, yeah, but we have different thinking, and that's how she thought. And it really struck on me, and I would really keep that.
Wow, galing ah. Thanks for sharing that. Quite interesting.
Para teary-eyed na ako ngayon, Anton.
Okay,
Uh,
let's finish the walkthrough of the book. No, so you have a
mm,
quote here. You said,
yes.
uh, so maybe can you tell a story? Bakit ganito yung formatting ng ano?
Okay. So very simple. Sad because I thought I work for you. Funny because you never feel the way I do. Okay. This can be. This is a good one for bosses and staff because they
Mm,
really thought they worked so hard, not only for the boss but for the company because that's how they always think. But that doesn't mean that they use all their time for the company. It doesn't mean like that. They work so hard because they want to, of course, share what they have, share what they have experienced, share what they can do for the betterment of the company, and share what they can, of course, for their bosses. But I just can't understand why some bosses are so hard on on themselves. So they don't even listen. Okay, they don't even listen. Okay, yeah, I know. Or maybe you're just a fresh graduate. I know more. I know better. It's not supposed to be like that because I heard these many stories from my students that that's why they were willing to share. What else could they do for? Because it was their boss who was talking, so they couldn't do anything but just to listen and say yes. That's why yeah, it's really hurting. I know because they have excellent ideas. They have good ideas that they wanted to share, but they couldn't because it's the boss who's saying, right?
mm.
Mm.
So,
And yes,
this one is in the point of view of the boss or in the point of view of the worker?
actually, it goes. It's a vice versa thing. Like yes,
Okay.
even some newcomers even feel like, yeah, I'm a newcomer, but I know better than you. That kind of feeling, that kind of thing. So I also would like them to understand that those people, those bosses, or maybe they have worked here for so long already. So at least you respect them. You
Okay.
respect them. So I just would like to to tell everyone that I care about the word respect, even I have no respect to some people at times, lalo na pag lalo na pag galit ka. But
Um,
anyways, yes. And
okay.
Anton, excuse me, Anton. Yeah. In addition to that, I also would like to tell the Filipinos, like I have some Japanese friends, I think, but yeah, they have this idiom called tsuru no tsuru no hitokoi, tsuru no hitokoi. Like for example, they have so many meetings. They have so many meetings. Let's say two, three, four, five, six meetings before they can make a decision. Okay, so of course they can't really come up with a good decision, or they can't easily uh, decide on things. But it simply means that if the boss comes or if the CEO comes, they can't do anything but to say yes. Tsuru means the crane. Okay, so the crane is highly respected as an animal here in Japan. Okay.
Mm, okay.
Mm,
Nice.
that kind of thing.
Okay, let's finish the. Do you have some excerpts on confidence? Uh,
Confidence.
they're very. A lot of Japanese people are really shy now. Um,
And some
or
are extremely shy.
so maybe can you share us about these quotes?
Okay, so yeah, I'll just read this one first. It's hard to build confidence for people who are extremely shy, but keep on trying and you will soon get there. Well, yes, I would say that maybe some Japanese are not that shy compared to, let's say, more than 10 or 20 years ago, because this is actually the real problem in their company. They have excellent products, perfect materials, like of course made in Japan. You know that kind of stereotype. Made in Japan, good quality is very expensive, but of course perfect quality. So because of this, because they don't have confidence, even how many times they try with their presentation, they go there, they stand up, but they still like feel awkward when it comes to giving a presentation in front of even just number of five people. How much more if it's, yeah, if the hall is really filled with those people, like let's say 500 or more. So um, just like, I'll just give you an example. Like you go to the electronic shop, and of course when you say salespeople, maybe they are more confident, and that's good. But that's in Japanese. They're speaking Japanese. Of course, they must be very confident with that. But when it comes to English, they're so awkward using some strong words and some strong phrases, because they might think it's not good for them to use. Like, just for example, telling your boss, I think you should have the meeting this coming Friday. Okay, so the word "should" itself is really hard for them to use, even during role playing.
Uh,
Yeah, role play during the lesson.
during the lesson.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
Interesting. And then last, you have quote here. Ito hindi ko naintindihan eh.
Mm,
Uh, and it's quite interesting actually. Maybe you can explain. Read it
okay.
first and then explain.
Okay. So family first, family last. They are my first and last. So it means this. Well, you were born. You came to this world, and what we only see is our family, right, or the parents. Then later on, maybe we didn't follow what our parents were trying to say, or the advice they've given us for so many years, for so many times. Or maybe we had those friends that are not so, maybe you call that BI, or the bad influence friends. Then maybe they're not following that kind of advice their parents were telling them. And then after that, they realize that, wow, I made a mistake. I should apologize to the person whom I've hurt. And then later on, they realize, even for some parents, they didn't want to accept that person anymore, that child anymore, because he's really a pain, right, in the family. So, but as parents, as family, ang gaan ng feeling mo eh. Like for example, if your children will just come back and say, "Mom, I'm sorry. Mom, I realize I've made mistakes. Mom, are you still willing to accept me?" Or Dad, are you still willing to accept me? Then for those parents, I truly appreciate them because I know they've been hurt for so many times, but because of that big heart they have, then it's easy for them to, of course, welcome them back. Okay, so
Uh,
family first. That's how we started, and even if we didn't listen to them for so many times, still they are our last. Okay.
wow, okay. Galing ah. So, is the entire book heavy in terms of insights or it's lighter also? How should people read this book?
Well, actually, for the main stories, it's very easy to understand, and I got inspired by my daughter to really use very simple words and expressions. Of course, it's very easy to understand, but I had quotes like, let's say, I believe I had 10 quotes. It's only 10, but try to really understand that. Try to internalize that so that you will be able to understand what that quote is really trying to say. It's not just a simple quote. Yes. I even asked my friends in Cagayan de Oro City, my very good friends there, and I said, okay, what do you think? What do you think of this? She said, Jill, I still can't understand. What are you really trying to say? And of course, I really would. That's why I tried to really explain to them on what it really meant.
Oo nga, ang deep eh.
I hope they understand now.
Oo, no, no, yeah, I
Sobrang
guess
deep, no?
medyo deep ng konti but actually ito nga sabi ni coach family first, family last. Tama nga eh. But when you explain it that way, parang you're right. There are some things na sometimes we've taken for granted, or maybe a different point of view is very helpful in appreciating, di ba? Our family like this.
Yeah, that's
Now,
right.
Jill, I'm trying to write a book. Is this your first book?
Your first book, with the help of Kath, of course.
Oo nga.
This
Maybe,
will
can
never
you...
happen. Sobrang ang galing niya, Anton. You've made the right choice.
Hindi,
Wag mo
pero
lang ipaalam sa kanya kahit na
wala
nakikinig.
muna. Tayo lang nag-usap dito. Nakikinig.
Oo.
But,
Forget about
um,
her.
hindi. So, ano, kasi I know a lot of people are
Mm,
trying to write their book during this quarantine,
mm,
during this lockdown. What
okay.
made you break through? Aside from, of course, you have a coach, but
Mm.
internally, I know you wanted to write this. You've been there for a long time. What were the key things that made you break through to write this book?
Okay. So, just for this book, actually, yes, I've been writing already for quite some time, or even in honestly, even in elementary. But let's just forget about that. Maybe I can explain that later or in the future. Now, yes, I was writing and then I realized that, oh, I think parang, I think I have many already. I have many stories to tell. So something like that. And there was, I think that was last year. There was can, we had a friend who joined the Bilibining Pilipinas. She's from Butuan City. So I went to Manila. Actually, it's not basically because of that. I just went to Manila because I had miles. I was using miles, and it was about to expire,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I went to Manila, and then I believe that was in June. So
Last year. Last
yeah,
year.
last year. That was last year. So I was thinking like I won't only be going there just to, of course, to stay for a short time because I need something na my meaning. Like for example, it has to be meaningful. I have to get something like this. And I even met my friend Abby. She's a very good friend of mine. She's from Manila, and we went. We even joined that morning exercise in Shangri-La Makate. Yeah, then after
Mhm.
that, so I really wanted to be really busy, so we went there, and then later on I even invited her. Abs, why don't you write your own book? I know you have some stories to tell, like that. So she's actually very interested. she wants to talk about her family, her parents especially. So after that, yeah, I went to Kat's training. I think that's a workshop, and of course, I was really thinking, oh my, it was really my time to really join this kind of thing. It was very hot, huh? It was very hot. I was even taking that is that ube sorry
Um,
ube ube bus in
yeah.
Glorieta. So I
Um,
took that one. I went there because I didn't want to use much money to take the taxi. So I take that one. I took that one, and then I went to Diliman. I waited there. This arresto mm, on the first floor. So I just waited, and I said I was so excited, just so excited. Lang. Then after that, after the workshop, after the training, I even told Kath, we chat a bit, but I really had to, of course, go to another place, right, at that time. So later on, after a few weeks, I think, I was, I, I was just thinking about that time and about that situation, about that workshop, and then I got this email from Kath. I think she was sending some messages to those who joined the workshop, and I was one of them. I said, "Oh my, I have another one, and I really would love uh, to write a book. Even if it's not a book, I just would love to share my stories. It can be in a book, but I just would love to share my stories, or maybe maybe I would join again. So I just wrote, okay. So and then after that she said, no, okay, yeah, you have you have you have to tell me why you would like a book. Yung may mga bold star effect pa siya, like, so that it would be very attractive. And I told her, you know what? Yes, bold star effect. Okay, yeah. Why do you want to write a book? Then she said, because Kath, I've never experienced being a bold star. So maybe maybe because of that lang, that's why she said, okay, maybe Jill really has something to say. And then of course she really inspires us. Like lalo na, like for example, if we sometimes feel lazy, right? At times. So
yeah.
yeah, ganun lang. Then yeah, just keep on writing. Anton, just keep on writing. Never stop writing, okay? Take it
Okay.
from me, okay? So yeah, just keep on writing. And then after that, you have another student again, and maybe you can share other stories. Then it would be really great if it becomes a reality. And I'm happy that it is really happening.
Wow. So you
Mhm.
finished it during the lockdown there in Japan or before pa?
Before, I believe I finished it in February.
Wow.
I Yeah, it's really true, Anton. We really thought ang hirap magsulat. Super hirap. That's what really people think. But I started writing, I believe, in sometime in November or December. And then after that, sulat ko lang na sulat. And then let her check, let her do her thing, then continue writing. And then later on, tapos na pala. Okay? Na ano
Ah,
lang kasi because of the pandemic eh. Yeah, because of the pandemic. Dapat may printed book na. Wala
oo nga.
pang bayad eh. Joke, joke, Kat, please.
So no, I think it's really good. Interesting
Mm.
yung topic. Coach said the book is a balancing act. It shows you the sad and funny parts of a single thing, and deep but also very relatable. Galing. I like to read it. Um, Thank you so much, Jill.
Thank you
Maybe
too. Thank you too,
some
Anton.
some final thoughts to your family and friends and those people maybe going to Japan and those people wanting to write. What do you want to say to them?
Okay, yes, don't wait for that time. Don't wait for the right time. I believe the right time is now. If you wait for tomorrow, or maybe if you wait for a week or two, I think yeah, of course you can do that, but why not now? And I'm not sure about the situation in Manila, but I think it's still, instead of doing other things, or which is more, of course it can be more productive, but if you really have that kind of passion, why not do it now? because that's how I experience. So I also would like to share that to you. And also, like, to those people, yeah, I'm also writing this book actually, because not only to those people who visited Japan or visited Japan for a short time or who had lived in Japan, but especially to those people who have never been to Japan. You can, this is, yes, this is honest to goodness stories from Japanese people. Walang charot. Parang ganun. Wala, I can't think of any word. Yes,
Uh,
really. Just read it and you will be able to know how really Japanese people are like. Of course, I'm not generalizing, but to those I've talked to those, especially to my students, based on their experiences. And what else? Yes, Anton, you might want to ask me more. I forgot the other one.
yeah. No, just some final thoughts uh, on yeah, the people writing the book. I guess you've answered that. And I didn't thought na you were writing this for people na who have never been to Japan. Galing ah.
Yeah,
Just
because this is their only chance, right? If they really have no chance to come to Japan, then this is your best chance. Grab at least one book.
oo. Yes. So where can they get a copy of the ebook and then the book later on?
For the ebook, yes, you can. If we're not friends yet, so you can. Yeah, I have a Facebook. Like, you can just
So I'll share
request.
it. Uh,
Then everything is explained there. Just check it. I don't know which day was that, but yes, you can definitely say
so this one,
Jill Suzuki.
Jill
Yeah,
Suzuki.
yeah, that's right. And yes, just inform me. Just send me a message if you want to purchase a copy of an ebook. And for the printed ones, hopefully, before the end of this year. Actually, I believe tapos na sana yon by June or July. But yes, because of this situation, that's why.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Can we have a
Thank you so
photo?
much too.
Can we have a photo? Uh,
Putting,
yeah.
okay, yes,
And then just look at the camera. Yeah. One, two. All right. Are you at home ba or you're in work?
I'm at home. I'm in our bedroom. Okay?
Oh,
Para
okay.
walang ingay.
All
Okay?
right.
Mhm. That's
And
right.
thank you so much for having time and at least even during this lockdown. Manila is on lockdown now eh. Also in
Okay.
quarantine, more strict quarantine because nga dumadaming cases and a lot of more people should be will be inspired by writing their own book.
Yes, yes.
And the reason I like to do this kind of discussion also, because you can talk to somebody from Japan.
Yeah, parang dyan lang, di ba?
Uh,
Oo. And
parang
Anton, can I thank the
sure.
people? Okay. So yes, hi to the people of Butuan City. Hi to my mom. I know you're watching. To my family, friends in Butuan, of course, FSUU batch 93, and people, of course, the Filipinos as a whole. Kath, thank you so much. I know you have a very busy schedule. Thank you for, yeah, I saw your name actually. Yeah, let's talk about it later na lang, Anton. She's here. Okay. Yeah,
Alright.
that's all. Hi, Ate Grace. Yes.
So we'll say hi to Walang Charo. Oh, may bago ka
Oh,
ng
wala
post.
charot. Wow, Judy Ann. She's my high school classmate.
Alright. And
And she's
then,
in love. She's in love.
ah,
Grabe. Nice one, Jill. Proud friend here. Thank you. Thank you. Ikaw din.
um,
Charo.
yeah.
Ikaw. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jill. I'm
Thank
sure
you.
this is our first meeting and discussion. This won't be the last.
Mm,
But maybe
yeah, that's right.
we'll see you in Japan one of these days.
Yes, please. Dito na ang meeting.
Oh, and then
Okay.
for me kasi I really need to understand the culture kasi sometimes no when you travel We do a lot of travel stories but sometimes nga mababaw yung mga stories namin about travel kasi nga you can't really talk to a Japanese person on the first time you meet them or
Yes.
even
Parang,
second. It needs a
parang
building na long
strange ka.
relationship, di ba?
Parang strange ka if you talk to them.
Oo, di ba? Parang
Yeah,
strange.
oh. But by the way, I still talk to. I met the president of Toyota Corporation just near my workplace.
And then,
Ang kapal talaga ng mukha ko. I really approached him. Excuse me, are you Mr. Blah blah? Siya, yes, I am. Parang ganon. At least my... Anyways, yeah.
and that's good. So
Mhm.
thank you so much. Thank you to
Okay.
those watching in the live stream. I know a lot of you will be watching it in the replay also. Thank you so
Mhm.
much. So ping
Thank you so much.
Suzuki in Facebook if you want to read the book. Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you, Anton. Thank you so much for waiting. Okay? Ingat kayo dyan.
Bye bye.
Bye. Bye. Thank you.